All right, guys. So let's get into our altcoin weekly review. I'm gonna start with some of my favorite coins today. I'll keep it very short and snappy. Let's look at Bonk. I like Bonk. It's looking really good. So if you look at the daily chart, what you can see here, we've closed outside the KC channel on the daily chart. So I expect higher prices, right? I do expect that this will go higher. I think, if we zoom out, I think it will go higher and maybe bring it to the weekly chart and see where targets are currently sitting. Maybe we come to these tops 27.9, maybe we bring it all the way up to maybe even 30. It's a possibility. If we step into the monthly chart, you can see what's happening here. This is a beautiful monthly candle. The month is not closed yet, so we can't draw much conclusions on it. But bring it back to the daily. Once you've closed outside the KC channel, I do expect this to go higher. Today will go higher. Monday will go higher at the very least. So a bit more price action, price to the upside on Bonk on this. It's a breakout as well. Obviously, it's breaking out these tops. So when it does the breakout, you come back and do a retest of it. So and the retest probably brings us back to about 24, where the KC channel is currently sitting, which is 24.65. Is where probably we'll retrace back to do a retest of these tops, all these tops here, somewhere there, 23.70. So between here, between these tops here, 23.70, and this here, we'll probably come back to it and do a retest before we continue going up. So that's Bonk. And then let's look at render. So I like render as well. So render, you can see here what's happening here on the weekly chart is looking really, really bullish, right? It is the daily chart, looks bullish. Um, if we bring it to the weekly, we will close green this week. So which means next week will go higher. I think there's a pullback as well in it. So wherever we close Sunday midnight, let's say we are at say $4, you can expect us to come back and test around 365, 370, somewhere there, and then continue going back up again. So that will probably happen when Bitcoin pulls back, right? So that's render. We don't want to spend too much time on this. Celestia. So let's look at Celestia, see what's happening with Celestia. I think again, Celestia as well will close green on the weekly chart. And I think wherever we close, I don't think we'll go past 206, unfortunately, for the weekly close. And then after that, I think I would expect us to pull back. We may go up slightly first before pulling back. That's also okay. And pullback, I think the pullback will bring us back to the Bollinger, and the Bollinger is probably sitting around 172.6. If it gets really bad, then you can expect that we will probably pull back to this point here, which is around the 153, 153, and we could even go all the way down to let's have a look. So we could even pull all the way back down to here. Let me move my interest box to here. So that's in the right area that we expect price to come to. So price could come to this box before we go up again. So just so you know, for render. And then let's move on for tier, sorry, and move on to IMEX. I got IMEX as well. So this one is looking really, really, really good. If you look at these bottoms here, so we've got triple bottom, like, well, four bottoms really. Here, this zone here, that zone here, that zone here, and that zone there. And this is the perfect bottom, double bottom here, where your RSI is lower here and higher there. This looks really, really good. And I think it's ready to really, really go high and do something like we did here, right? So, I expect us to go up to at least $2 on this, at the very least $2 to come to these tops here. And that probably will take us the whole of July, probably into early August. Because this took us almost about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, so 2 months, right? So for us to get to $2, I think I would say maybe early August and middle of August, ending of August, somewhere there. Probably be at $2 on IMEX. But again, when we close the week, I think there's a pullback. Again, there is a pullback in here. So, pullback to maybe the middle of this line here, the green line, which is sitting around 504. So, that would be a great place to pick up some more when it pulls back. Let's move on to the next pair. Move on to RV. So RV is also doing well. It's almost going back to the previous top. It's a breakout occurring at the moment. I think it will break out, and I think we'll go and do a double top at the very least. But I don't expect this to stop at the double top. I think it will go higher, and I think we'll go higher and do maybe $550, $600 before we stop going up. So this is also looking good. RV, and if we move on to the next one, CRV. So CRV is also one of the coins that is set up beautifully at the moment. So we came here, run up, come back to do a lower high, go up, come back to another lower high, get support of the 50 SMA. And I was hoping we'll come back into our interest box. We came close, but we didn't get there. I don't think we will see CRV below the 200. So it may pull back into this box. And then the 50 SMA is sitting around 576. So if you're lucky, you could get 576 as a pullback to get onto the train. But I expect higher prices here as well. Let's move on to hype. So hype is already gone higher than the peak. And there's nothing here saying that there's a concern. We've gone higher than RSI. RSI is a 67 on the weekly chart. So there's more upside to this. We are into discovery, and we are closing outside the KC channel. So I expect at least 3 more weeks of going up, 3 more weeks. So if we say, I'll put it around $65. So I'll just move my thing to about $65 for hype before we come down. But there's a pullback. Again, there's a pullback. After the week closes, you can expect a pullback. So pullback to maybe the Bollinger, which is sitting around $44, $45. So that pullback will be a great place to pick up some coins. Let's move on to the next one, Injective. Let's look at Injective on the daily chart. So we did all this run up. We've done the corrections here. So we've done 1 there, 2, 3. We've come back lower high, and we're going up. So I expect this also to go up. Injective will go up, and I expect it to go back up. And at the very least, go and test these tops here, which is at $34. So, $34 is what you can expect. Once we break this 200 SMA, that's where I would expect this to get in the end. It's not going to happen overnight. It may take about 6 weeks, 7 to 8 weeks for us to get there. But it's a great one to start picking some coins. And let's move on to Maker. So Maker did come into our interest. No, it didn't. It came close to it. It came very close to it. And then we can look at it on a weekly chart and see what's going on there. So we do have a dead cross. So we've just had a dead cross here. So, you can expect price to pull back down first before we go up on Maker, unfortunately. So Maker not in the strongest of position on the weekly chart at the moment. So yeah, I'm not strong at the moment. It could come back and do a retest of this particular line here, the 200 SMA. We could do that before we go up. So let me just move my box, delete that because that one was hit. So let's move this box down here. And I think maybe we might come into this box before we head up again. So that's Maker for you. Let's move on to Say. Say is looking good. So Say is looking really good. It's very bullish. As you can see, we just closing above the 50 SMA. And I think we'll close strong green weekly chart. There's a potential for us to pull back, and we could, come back into this box that I've drawn. So this box, we could come back into this box here. around here, like about 50 to the tops here. So the tops here, we could revisit the tops here as a pullback before we go up. So, but it's looking really strong. One to really collect. I think we'll go back to the 770.73 zone and potentially go and do a double top here around 113. So looking good on say, let's move on to our next coin, which is Ethereum. Ethereum is also looking good. I like Ethereum. We have a breakout on Ethereum at the moment. It's looking really strong. I mean, once the week closes, you can expect a bit of a pullback, and I think we'll pull back, to test maybe these tops here. These tops here could be a great point for pullback. So maybe about 2770. So if I just put one of my lines there to remind us next week. So we can say we can expect something like that as a pullback, and then we'll continue going up. So Ethereum is looking really good. Let's go on to the next pair, which is, I think that's it. And I'm gonna touch on a few meme coins, not every one, too many of them. So I'm going to touch on a few meme coins, favorite meme coins. Pepe, let's have a look at Pepe. Pepe is on a breakout, is likely to close the weekly chart above the 50 SMAs, and then, go higher after a small pullback into the 50 SMA or slightly below. So that's looking good as well. We already spoke about Bonk already. No need to waste our time on that. And I want to touch on banana because this one was one of our best shorts so far. And it's just going down the drain. They've pumped it so high, and now they liquidated all the longs as well. What a big shame. So I expect this to continue going down. It will go down and come back to the base here again, and maybe we'll find support at that point. Let's talk about what's my other one? Fatcoin. Fatcoin, because a lot of people like Fatcoin. Fatcoin will go higher. Fatcoin will definitely go higher. I think it will go up initially to this point, 164, and then go and do a double top around the 250 to 280, somewhere there. But that will take a few weeks for us to do that. First point is to break this top at 164. And I think we'll do that. So Fatcoin looking good. Let's move on to where is the Moondig and Goat. So Goat is also looking good as well. I think we'll close green candle. We might have a bit of a pullback back to the green line, which is sitting around the 11,360, that zone, and then continue going up next week after Bitcoin finishes its pullback. And then we've got Boba. Let's have a quick look at Boba. Is not being meme coin, but let's have a look. That's a reversal candle right there for you. It's a reversal candle. So Boba will be going higher. You can expect higher prices on Boba going forward. This thing will go all the way up to here, 15. So quite an easy doubling of your money on Boba here. Very good. And I'll pick one more, Mooding. Let's look at Mooding, see what Mooding is doing. So we had this candle last week, and you would have expected us. I think potentially you could come back into the wick before going up. We could come back into this wick before going up. So it's not the strongest at the moment, but if I bring it to the daily chart, there's a lot of liquidity sitting here. So, who knows? I think on this one, they could come and take some of this liquidity here around. Let's put a line here for next week. They could come and take the liquidity up to here, somewhere there, and then continue the journey to the upside. But yeah, the weekly looks all right. But my MACD is not giving me the right color. So this one is a bit suspect, but after a pullback, maybe continues to go up after a pullback. So I think that's all I've got. Pingu, yes, let me cover Pingu because Pingu is another one that's really picked up. I mean, this is going to go very high. We're closing the week outside the KC channel, which we will do. So, I'd expect this to go higher after a pullback. We may pull back to about 274, somewhere there, 274, and then we'll go higher. I think it will go all the way back to the tops here. So this is looking really good. Pingu as well, looking good. that's all I've got for you guys on the altcoin video. I wish you all the best. This is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. This is just what I'm doing and sharing it. So take it with a pinch of salt, do your own research, become accountable for your own results, and trade safe and ta-ta, and we'll catch up next week.